So next topic is giving advice. So we're gonna see how Andy explained. It's at 36 minutes 18 seconds.
Giving advice in Japanese. Giving advice uses this. Da do desu ka? The book presents it as tara do desu ka? Which is fine. Either is fine. I prefer to think of it as da do desu ka? But to sort of explain that a little bit better, we'll probably have to look at sentences. But it's derived from the structure which hasn't been introduced yet. So I think they put this too soon. Sentence 1 plus tara do desu ka? And by tara, we mean the short past tense of a verb plus the da. So for example, tabetara. So adding da after the short past tense of a verb actually means if that verb. So tabetara means if eat. That's actually not shown up yet. Sentence 1 ending in a short form past tense verb, ta or da or whatever, plus the da. Tara means if that verb. So that's going to show up later in Genki, but it's the most, I'd say, basic form of if, conditional, right? So this is using that. So we've got the short form past tense plus da. Do desu ka? How about, or why don't you, is what this comes out. Literally, do is how is question marker. How is something something. So tabetara do desu ka means how about if eat, because the tara gives you an if. So how about if eat is what that would literally mean. Now, we do not use this like we do in English. Like, why don't you come over to my house? Inviting someone over to your house, you don't use that like that. In English, you can say that. Why don't you come over to my house? Like, as an invitation, right? We do not use dado desu ka to invite people to do things. It's for giving advice, and specifically giving advice when it's asked for. It's actually somewhat rude to use dado desu ka if you aren't first asked for advice. It's very presumptive of you to offer advice with dado desu ka if you haven't first been asked for it. So don't use it, basically, unless someone's asking you for advice. In informal speech, you can drop the desu ka, of course. That actually showed up in our very first dialogue this week. We just said something dado. It's very common. Let's go over some example sentences so that you can get a better idea of what this is. So my sentence that I was just talking about, tabetara do desu ka? Why eat? Literally, how about if eat? Which becomes why don't you eat? Tabetara do desu ka? How to be if something. How about if something? Akirametara do desu ka? Akirametara do desu ka? Why don't you give up? Agetara do desu ka? Why don't you give it?
Tara, どうですか? It is a really good point Andy mentioned. So this is not why don't you. This is not why don't you. Yes, because we use this la, like conditional sentence. 食べたらどうですか? 食べたらどうですか? So it's something else. It's more like why that situation happened, because you are asked. Then you are going to say something. You are suggest some action, advice. So that's the case. It's like this. Okay. If you use this for something you are not asked to begin with, then sounds really rude. お腹空いたな。食べたらどうですか? 食べたらどう? Like sounds really pushy, pushing. I don't know why you have to say this way, and I would just say like, probably 食べる? Yeah, 食べる? But for example, if someone say お腹空いたな. どうしたらいいかな? Yes, you are asked. Okay, then for the first time you can say 食べたら? カレーあるよ。 食べたらどう？カレーあるよ。Yeah. This case, you are not asked. This case, you are asked. You are asked otherwise. Then please use. Okay, here's my comment for this grammar. I don't know why Genki have to introduce this grammar at this lesson 14, that location. I have no idea why. Because Tara grammar coming up really, really late, like 18 or something, 20 or something. It's really late. And before bringing up Tara, they have to warn, oh, okay, you have to use only particular case. Wait. That's the case. Why you even just introduced here? No idea. That's たらどうですか already?